It is Tuesday, the 23rd of July, and you are spending your time at the right place with the right people. This is Sport Wrap, making sure you stay informed on what's happening locally and internationally in the world of sport. Joined by me, Ashwin Berry. Without further ado, you know I don't like to delay things. Let's get into the hit list. Now, Namibian tennis managed a brilliant result. This was leading to their promotion to the Davis Cup World Group 2 with just one late exhausted slip against Zimbabwe, a country with a wealth of World Group 2 experience. The Namibian side nevertheless finished top of the 6-team standings in the just concluded African Group 3 in Nigeria. The top three nations at the Africa Group 3 tournament in Abuja booked their places, namely Namibia, Nigeria and Zimbabwe. Team captain Jerry De Penar's goal set 4 years ago has finally been realized with the achievements of 19-year-old Connor van Schalkwyk, his brother Cody van Schalkwyk and veteran Jean Erasmus, who put aside his retirement, and 15-year-old prospect Ruben Yeso. Just once before, in 2018, the Namibian men's team won the Africa Group 3 competition, but for some reason they did not compete in World Group 2 the following year. Now, on the way to the latest breakthrough, the Namibian team fought hard in the last week for consecutive victories against Ghana, the host team Nigeria, Benin, who were also the only undefeated team at that stage. Now, Friday's match against Zimbabwe could only be finished on a second match day due to rain, which ended in a narrow 2-1 result for Zimbabwe. Staying with Namibia and Zimbabwe, the Zimbabwe Sables are Namibia's next hurdle on the way to the successful defense of their Rugby Africa Cup title in Kampala, Uganda. Tomorrow, Namibia will know who they will face in the final after their showdown against Zimbabwe. Now, Alistair Katia, head coach of Namibia, said that his team's training went well, and apart from 2 mild cases of flu symptoms, they came out of Saturday's test without any new injuries. Namibia, the defending Rugby Africa Cup champions, defeated Burkina Faso 38-5 in the opening match of the tournament. Katia says Zimbabwe also performed well, although they only beat Uganda 22-20 after the Sables had seemingly comfortably led 22-0 at half-time. It's not going to be an easy game against Zimbabwe. Their set pieces looked organized and they launched good moves from there, Katia also said. Now, a win against Zimbabwe will guarantee Namibia a place in the final against Kenya or Algeria. Now, teenage swimmer Trisha Mutumbulua has been awarded a scholarship from World Aquatics and the Hungarian government for the 2024-2025 academic year. Starting in September this year, she will join 9 other international swimmers in the Stipendium Hungaricum Sport Scholarship Program, designed to help athletes continue their sports careers while pursuing academic goals. 6 will study and train in Budapest, while the other 4 will study in Debrecen, Ega and PEX. The universities are Hungarian University of Sports Sciences, Eötvös Loránd University, University of PEX, Corvinus University of Budapest, Esterházy Károly Catholic University, and University of Debrecen. The 19-year-old Mutumbulua is currently training at the Tanya Yapura Sports and Health Resort in Phuket, Thailand, under a World Aquatics Swimming Scholarship. We certainly wish her all the best. Now, swinging over to local football, African Stars Soccer Club, reigning champions of the 2023-2024 Debari Namibia Premiership, are primed for a spectacular finish to their season as they head into the PST Bet NFA Cup final. After a successful pre-season campaign in Botswana, Stars have demonstrated their readiness and form ahead of the crucial match. During their pre-season tournament, African Stars excelled, winning 4 out of 5 games. The tournament kicked off with a solid 1-0 victory against Gaborone United Sporting Club on 18 July at Dinaledi Academy. The team's standout performance came the following day at the BIAC grounds, where they defeated Supersport United FC 1-0. The only goal of the match was scored by striker Awilo Stefanas. Now, Supersport United, a prominent South African club from the DStv Premiership, had finished 7th in the 2023-2024 season. Post-match, African Stars head coach Ronnie Canalelo expressed satisfaction with his team's performance, stating, "For me, it's not just about the result. I want to see if the boys still remember that the dynamics of last season. It was good to see them put in the performance as we are also preparing for the CAF final." We love a prepared team right here on Sport Wrap. Stay with us as we zoom in with Iriana Marie taking us through some news from Formula One after the break.
From the day you were born and welcomed until your pensioner years on this earth, your life is filled with changes and phases. What mattered the most at age 10 may be an unknown memory at 25. The heartbreak at 16 may be replaced with wedding bells at 27. The degree you've always wanted or starting your career business may come true at age 30. And the dream to own your own home may come to realization at age 50. Whatever stage you find yourself in, whatever matters right now, Standard Bank has what you need to bank like you. Choose your own path. Choose endless possibilities. Standard Bank, it can be.
Now, just before the exciting race this last weekend, Iriana Marie van der Walt, Namibia's only Formula One reporter, came through with an update on what's happening in the world of Formula One, including misconceptions about women in the sport. Have a look. Enjoy.
Quite understanding and a lack of knowledge within Formula One circles. More Than Equal, an initiative that was co-founded by the former Formula One driver David Coulthard. Their goal is to empower the first ever Formula One female Formula One world champion. And they've done some research to help them understand what it will take for them to empower a female Formula One world champion. Among others, they found that there was a lack of knowledge in a lot of aspects. Despite the fact that 82.3% of the respondents to their survey classed themselves as avid Formula One fans, only half of them, about 50% of them, knew that women are allowed to race in Formula One alongside men. So this is true for a lot of racing categories. It's not just Formula One. The theory is that in equal machinery, women should be able to compete in Formula One. The other lack of knowledge that More Than Equal were able to see and notice is a lack of knowledge around what it takes for women to be in Formula One. There is no knowledge or any understanding as to any potential existing mechanical and technical challenges that women may experience. There's no understanding of how women need to train differently, how their nutrition needs may differ, how hormonal differences may impact women's performance in formula racing. So that's something that More Than Equal have done their own work in changing. They've developed a program for female racers that they are now testing with a group of 6 young girls, but that is not directly linked to Formula One. So Sophia Flörsch and Chloe Chambers took out 2 separate single-seater machines for a test at Silverstone. Sophia Flörsch, currently a Formula 3 driver who took a Formula 2 machine for a test, and Chloe Chambers, currently an F1 Academy driver, took a Formula 3 machine for a test. And their sole purpose there was not to perform, not to top the time sheets, not to do anything, but to give feedback on how their experience was driving that car. And this hopefully will help us to understand what it will take for us to get a woman into Formula One. More Than Equal's research, fun fact, also showed that a large number of Formula One fans believe that women will be racing in Formula One within the next 10 years. Susie Wolf, the lady leading the charge at F1 Academy, who has a fantastic CV. She's far more than just Toto Wolff's wife. She was a Formula E team principal back in her day. She was a racer as well. And she believes that it may take about 5 years. So the challenge is certainly on. We'll definitely have to see what happens in the next couple of years in Formula One. But this is a very big step. It may not look like much, but it's a big step for us to understand whether or not women can compete with men in Formula One in equal machinery. Even if the machinery is equal, are there things that need to be changed to the seats? Are there things that need to be changed to the way that the cars are set up for women? That can help us to understand and bridge the gap between men and women in Formula One. At least that's the hope with this test. There's also a lot of hope in Formula One in the driver market currently. Carlos Sainz still unsigned, still the man holding the keys to the driver market, but it seems that the driver market is now starting to move on without him. Currently, despite the fact that Checo Perez has signed a multi-year deal with Red Bull, there are a lot of rumors, a plethora of rumors that he will not be at Red Bull come next year. There are rumors saying he's going to get booted right after the mid-season break. There are rumors saying that he's going to get booted toward the end of the season. There's rumors saying that he's going to be booted at the end of the season. There's a lot of rumors going around. A lot of rumors also as to clauses that Red Bull may activate regarding his performance. A lot of rumors as to what exactly those clauses are. The rumors are not all consistent, except for in one aspect, and that is that Checo Perez won't have a seat come next year. Yuki Tsunoda, a junior driver for Red Bull in their sister team, Visa Cash App Racing Bulls, has responded to some rumors that not him, but Liam Lawson will be getting the seat at Red Bull should Sergio Perez be left without a seat and should that seat be vacant. He said that
Today we are going to learn how to bake.
Welcome everyone.
Things may not always go as planned, but our technology doesn't fail. Join Paratus today. Paratus, always prepared.
All right, it's time for us to talk Olympics. As you know, Namibia has got a rich history in Olympics, and this was the history in 1996. Athletics 100 meters, Frankie Fredericks got second, silver. Oh, we all remember that day. 200 meters, Frankie Fredericks again came in second, getting silver. In the marathon, Joseph Shitunga was 76th, Elizabeth Monguli was 59th. In boxing, light flyweight, Joseph Bernard came 17th. Middleweight, Sakari Shivute came 17th. In shooting, air pistol, 10 meters, Freedom Suck came 8th. What a great result. In swimming, 100 meters, breaststroke, Jorg Lindemeyer 35th. Monica Dahl in the 50 meters, 36th. 32nd, Monica Dahl in the 100 meters. And 100 meters butterfly, it was Monica Dahl. Unfortunately, she did not swim actually for that one. However, we all remember those first two top results. The entire of Africa had their eyes glued to the screen as Frankie Fredericks made us all incredibly proud with those 2 silver medals. Now let's talk about the Olympics today. Well, they're happening in a couple of days, but we mean in this day and age. And it seems like rugby is going to be gaining more popularity there. World Rugby CEO Alan Gilpin says the sport is set to come of age at the Paris Games. Have a look. Reuters reports.
Our athletes are ready to showcase to the world an incredible, breathtaking, exciting, youthful sport and what will be the world's biggest stage ever for Rugby Sevens. We're honoured to be getting the sporting action underway tomorrow, 2 days ahead, of course, of the opening ceremony, and what promises to be a really spectacular and unforgettable Olympic Games in Paris. And being on the sport's biggest stage certainly has been transformational. Following Rugby Sevens' debut at the Rio 2016 Games and our COVID-affected Tokyo Games, we really believe that for rugby, this is the Olympic Games where Rugby Sevens comes of age at its third edition here in Paris. Sevens has proven to be one of the highest demand events in the Paris Games, with more than 550,000 fans expected to fill the Stade de France across our 8 competition sessions, our biggest Rugby Sevens live audience ever.
As mentioned, it is the third edition of Rugby Sevens.
It should be possible to make sure in the big moments, the big global stage moments in sevens and 15s, that players can try and play in both. And what Antoine Dupont's doing is utterly incredible, as you know. I mean, to make that transition, not just once in a season, but to be able to do it back and forth, to have been, player of the match in a Champions Cup one weekend, and then leading France to victory in Madrid in our sevens grand finale the next weekend was incredible. And again, I think just inspires more players to want to do that.
So the prediction is that France will almost triple their gold medal tally from the Tokyo Olympics in Paris and should fulfill President Emmanuel Macron's target of a top 5 finish in the overalls medals table, according to a forecast by Nielsen's Grace Note. Let's have a look at his other predictions, brought to you by Reuters.
Yeah, so we've got the United States again winning the medal table, whether you rank that on total medals as they do in the States, or on golds as most of the rest of the world does. China in second place. Sorry, I should say United States 112 medals. China in second place on 86, and then there's a big gap. And then we have Great Britain on 63 medals. The host nation France on 60 medals, which is obviously quite a big jump from the last Olympics, and Australia on 54, which is also a decent jump up from the last one. So that's the top 5. So yeah, so we have France on 60 medals. I think they won 33 3 years ago. So that is indeed quite a big jump. And yeah, you have to really put it down to that home advantage, which is based on then the investment really of in the country into sport from the time that they get the hosting onwards. It'll make a difference to the predictions that we have, because certainly last time around we couldn't predict China properly because they hadn't been competing in events. So this time around I'd be more confident of what we have than what we had last time. Does it make a difference to the overall medal table? I don't think so. I think with COVID, it meant that there were not a great deal of competitions for more than a year, but people were still keeping themselves in the shape they needed to be in. And for most countries, they were competing at a decent level for quite a little bit of time before the Tokyo Olympics actually took place. But I think that probably the medals tend to be distributed across multiple nations, and so many nations that in fact you don't really notice in the medal table that there's anything going on. That's certainly been the case in the past when we have taken Russia and then removed them out, which we have done because of the various things around Russia in the past. So I think they just get distributed, 1 or 2 medals here and there, and then in the end that doesn't seem to make a great deal of difference. The only major thing, of course, is that it means that there's an extra spot in the top 10, but that's really the only difference, I think. I'm pretty confident that the sort of rank order that we have in terms of total medals will be close to what actually happens. I'd be happy to say, on the basis of the data that we have, that Australia should have its best Olympics probably since 2000, and I think obviously the Dutch, now that they're winning more than 30 medals each time. I have hopes that I think we've got the Dutch on 17 golds, which would be a record. I mean, if that happens, it would be really astonishing. The record for the Dutch is 12, but we'll see if they can break that. I think I'd probably say they ought to be able to break it given the numbers that we have. But 17 is a big ask. America is also a little bit, it's a little bit of a tricky one for us. So I do have to admit that we have underestimated the United States at each of the last 2 Olympics for certain, in terms of total medals. That has something to do with their Olympic trials, I think. I think that could work in 2 ways. So first of all, people who we have in medal positions don't qualify, and they're replaced by often younger, less experienced people who we don't have enough data for. So they can be on the up, as it were. So that's happened again this time. So the medals for the United States went down by about 10 from the previous forecast that we had. So it wouldn't surprise me to see the US picking up more medals than we've actually got now.
Now, we'll definitely love to know your predictions for Namibia at the Olympics. And of course, we can support Africa. I understand the Copper Queens of Zambia are also going to be representing their country. And South Sudan is the only African team being represented in the basketball category. They just lost by 1 point to the United States of America. So it's going to be very interesting checking out the Paris Olympics as they begin. From me, Ashwin Berry, I'm going to be saying goodbye. We'll take a short break, and then Ari Hogad is going to take us globetrotting. See you tomorrow.
Good day everyone, time for international sports news, and starting off with cycling news first. It was the Tour de France that was completed over the weekend. Winner there, Tadej Pogačar, and Tadej Pogačar remain in the news, and that is because he unfortunately had to pull out of the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris, and that is big news for the cycling road race. It is the team of Tadej Pogačar that indicated it is country at the Olympic Games. Continuing international sports news with golf news, and it's the world rankings, the new men's world rankings that came out after the British Open was completed over the past weekend. The winner there was Xander Schauffele of the USA. He's the big winner on the world rankings. He's up to number 2 in the official world rankings now. He also, a few months ago, won the USA PGA tournament, so a good year for Xander Schauffele in professional golf this year. So the world number 1, yeah, that is unchanged. That is Scottie Scheffler of the United States. The new number 3 is now Rory McIlroy. It was Rory McIlroy that was number 2 before the start of the British Open. Number 4 is Ludwig Aberg. He is from Sweden. The best place player from the Live Golf Breakaway League is Bryson DeChambeau, and he is number 9 in the world. With Southern African interest, the best placed South African golfer is Tristan Lawrence. He was 4th in the British Open. He's up 27 places on the world rankings now. He's up from number 98 to number 78 currently. And the best South African best placed one on the world rankings at the moment is Christian Besaidnout. He's number 46 in the world. And to close off today's international sports news, it is soccer news or football news, and it is news from the English Premier League that will start on the 16th of August again, the new season that will start with Manchester United playing against Fulham. News from Manchester United is that they required the services of Lenny Euro, and he's a highly rated player from Lille that they signed on a 5-year deal. He's a centre-back, and he will join Manchester United on a 5-year deal with $54 million. Also, it is Arsenal that got a new player or trying to sign a new player. That's not confirmed yet, but they look set to strengthen their defence, and they're looking to get the Italian defender. His name is Riccardo Calafiori, and they want to get him from Bologna. He's 22 years old, and he's apparently valued at about $25 million. It is Arsenal that play their first game. That is against Wolverhampton, and that will be on the 17th of August. That's international news for today. Hope you have a great sport day, and we talk international sport again tomorrow. Goodbye.